Hello all and welcome to Lawpolitan. Recently, the central government imposed AFSPA, that is Armed Forces Special Powers Act, in 6 districts of Manipur. This has led to widespread protests. Let's understand what is AFSPA and the issues around it. Often called as a draconian legislation, AFSPA was enacted by Britishers in 1942 to suppress the Quit India movement. The law is now in force in entire Jammu Kashmir and parts of Nagaland, Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh. In this video, we will understand AFSPA imposed in the northeastern states. The AFSPA gives special powers to members of armed forces in areas designated as disturbed areas by the government. The Act gives powers to armed forces like firing and using force even to the extent of causing death, arresting any person without warrant even if there is reasonable suspicion that he has committed an offence or is about to commit an offence, and to enter and search any premise to make arrest. The Act does not give any time limit within which the person arrested has to be presented in the nearest police station. This is contrary to the general principles of criminal law and Article 22 clause of the Indian Constitution, which states that every person who has been arrested and detained shall be produced before the nearest magistrate within a period of 24 hours of the arrest. Further, the armed forces are not obligated to communicate the grounds of arrest to the person. AFSPA also provides immunity to the armed forces and establishes that no legal proceedings can be brought against any member of the armed forces acting under this Act without the permission of the central government, that is, having a sanction from the government. The Act was challenged in the case of Naga People's Movement of Human Rights versus Union of India, and the Supreme Court held that powers granted under the Act are not arbitrary or unreasonable. Then why are these protests being held? There have been several allegations against army personnel over the years resorting to violence against civilians in places where AFSPA is in force. In 2000, in Malum massacre, 10 civilians died. In 2004, a woman named Thagjan Manorama was raped and brutally murdered by a group of Assam Rifle troopers at her residence in Imphal. This raised hue and cry among public. In 2021, it was reported that 15 civilians died in an army operation in Nagaland. As per reports, there have been 186 cases of abuse in AFSPA-enforced states between 2012 to 2016. Further, Justice Hedge Commission was appointed by Supreme Court in 2013 to look into the extrajudicial killings in AFSPA states. The commission held that AFSPA was being widely misused in Manipur and had made a mockery of law. Jeevan Reddy Committee said that law had become a symbol of oppression and that the security forces were disregarding the procedural safeguards set out by the Supreme Court. Lack of accountability adds to the reason of people's protest. According to international law and legal thought, there are several cases of abuse against people suspected to be militant sympathizers. This year, Supreme Court closed FIR against 30 Indian Army personnel under this Act as there was no sanction from the central government to file the case against them. Even when the government gives permission for legal proceeding, the cases are taken up in martial courts and judgments are usually not published or made public. All of this has led to distrust among the public. With years of protest against AFSPA, the government and people should have conversation and come up with a solution which deals with militancy while respecting the life and rights of civilians. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.